couple of weeks ago, I shown you this really awesome blind spot monitoring mirror for your Tesla Model 3 and Model Y. And today I want to do a follow-up video answering some of the questions and the comments that was incorporated by Teslasy already, as well as show you this process on a Model 3 Highland. I showed you on a 2022 Model Y. Today's video is going to be on a Model 3 Highland. Even though the process is exactly the same, it is going to be slightly different perspective coming from a smaller car. As well as I got this one. This is the blue tinted one versus the white mirror that I had got originally. And now, because of your feedback, they also have the actual OEM Tesla mirrors. More on that here in just a second. So I was unpacking this box and then this showed up on the top and I was like, did I get the wrong package? But apparently they sent me a little car robot as well with this application. So we're gonna be talking about this. It's a cute little robot that they send. So just like the other unit that I showed you, this comes with the Bluetooth module here. Everything just connects on that OBD port, and then we're just gonna have to bypass it. So this is literally the same process, Juniper, Highland, everything. It is just that here. And then these are the mirror. It looks exactly the same as the one that I showed you before, except these are blue tinted. So in the daytime, I think it's gonna be more apparent, but if you can look at it here, even with the direct light there, the glare, you can kind of see that is me there, and then the glare has become much better. I'm gonna actually remove this plastic and show you here as well. But the tint, the blue tint helps with the glare because this does not have the auto dimming feature. So here's the mirror. It looks really cool. As you can see, there is that light reflection there, and with the direct reflection, even with my eyes here, it's not that bad. I could see it. It doesn't make it very glary. As you can see, that a little bit of a flare that you see is because of my camera here, not the actual mirror. So this is much better on the blue version than just the standard white one. Now on the installation side, you get a pry tool. They actually send you this pry tool, and then they send you this little Torx tool that you can use to unscrew. There's 3 very tiny screws that you have to remove. Now this works, but you need a lot of patience for this, and this is not magnetic, so the little screw could kind of drop on the floor, and it's just a little bit harder to use this tool. That is where I think it is a good investment if you're going to be doing projects like this on a electric screwdriver like this. This is super nice. This is from Fantic, not sponsored. I picked this up from Costco. You can also get it in Amazon. I'm going to put some links directly from Fantic as well. But what this is it is a electric. As you can see, it has a different level that you can control. There has light, so it becomes easy to work at nighttime. Very, very strong. And you could even twist this, so like even at an angle. So even a screw is at a 90 degree, almost 90 degree, that you can go here rather than, trying to get the screwdriver that is straight. So there is multiple benefit to this. And the thing that I like the most about this whole thing is also the bits, because these are magnetic bits, right? So if you look at it here, one of my pain point with this bits when I get in a multi-pack is that when I use it, after I use it, I gotta kind of put it into those holes and then it just pops out. I don't like this. This one, you just let it go and then the magnet actually catches. So both this blind spot monitoring system as well as that little robot for the car was sent to us by Teslasy to review in our channel here today. And for the blind spot monitoring, as you see, like you can choose from Intel to Model 3 2021 to all of those different models. Now you have to be extremely careful about picking this made in China one. So there is the Model Y made in China here, and then there is Juniper made in China. If it is China, the car wiring is going to be different. So they got to send you different wires, not the US version. So you got to let them know if it was built in China or not. And then there is the white mirror, there's anti-glare, and then this is the auto dimming mirror that is the original Tesla's lenses. And as you can see, the auto dimming one is $459. I'll show you how you can knock this down quite a bit, but it still is going to be more expensive than just getting the white one, where the white one is just $249 versus anti-glare one, the blue one is $259. That's $10 different. But if you use the auto dimming one, the Tesla's is $459. So let's say if you do want to get the Tesla's one, then let's say you go over here, buy now, and then right here, if you put your discount code SHIVATESLA, then that knocks the price down by $160, bringing the total to 298. And keep in mind, this is the original Tesla one. That is a huge discount right now because of the holidays. So Christmas discount, it should go through next week. And then after that, this is gonna go up. So if you wanna take advantage of it. So there is your robot here. And you can do different white, red, yellow, pink, whatever option that you want. And then there's a standard version that is just that version. There's also an upgraded version with a little solar charger. So if you want a solar charging base for that, looks like it says 135 for the upgraded one. The main is 95, but again, I can show you how you can knock this price down. So you go over here, it says 95. If you just put SHIVA Shiva Tesla, hit apply, $33 off, bringing the total to 61. Again, this is a holiday only saving. If you want to take advantage of it, this is an affiliate code. We earn a very small commission at no additional cost to you, which greatly helps us bring videos like this in the future. Let's continue. Installation of this Bluetooth piece is going to be exactly the same for all Model Ys, all Model 3s after 2021 with the AMD chip in it. So if it sure says AMD in it, this is exactly what you are going to follow. You're going to have to remove this A pillar here. There is going to be an OBD port right here. And then there's going to be a power here that we need to bypass. Now, first step is you need to undo this weather stripping piece here. So you can completely remove this up to the bottom part so that it comes out easily here. You're gonna see these panels here. This is for the older Model Y where the panels are two different panels is separated. For the newer cars like Highland or Juniper, you're gonna have just this one piece. But all you have to do is take your pry tool and pry this part out. And when you pry this out, this comes out. And as you see, for the older cars, this is one piece. And this guy is another piece where you just have to pry this out as well. But for the newer car like Highland or Juniper, it is just one piece. That's how it comes out. Now for all the cars, there's gonna be a plastic push pin here. Again, the newer, the older cars, and what you do is take your pry tool and then basically go in and tap here, and then the plastic pin comes out like that. And then you are able to remove this plastic push pin and put this on a safe location. You're gonna need to put this back here in just a second. Now we're able to remove this panel. Now you just go in here, grab onto this piece here, and then you're able to just push this out. And again, for newer car, older car, exactly the same procedure. This panel just comes out. Now for the older Model Ys, like mine here, you're gonna have another plastic push pin here that you're gonna remove exactly like how you did it on the top. This, you don't even have to remove it completely. You can just set this aside, and that's only for the older car. The newer cars come like this, so it's already kind of pried open for you all. Now, this is where yours might be super clean. I have a bunch of accessories connectors, so you see I have a lot of daisy chaining here. The process is super simple. If you have an older Model Y like mine, you're gonna have your OBD port deep underneath here. It is just going to look like this, where it is a blue connector. It is just going to be open, and we can use the new connector. This is your power port, but as I said, I have a bunch of accessories here. That's why mine looks very convoluted. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the male end of your new harness that looks like this and basically plug it into this female end on the Tesla or another accessory. Now, the computer part is done. This is already getting the signal. Now we just need the power. And for power, all we're gonna do is grab one of this pin here. We're gonna pinch on the middle tab here and then take it out. You look at it, it comes out really quickly. And this one right there, you're gonna plug it in. And then you're gonna take the male end of the new harness and plug it into the female end here. Now everything is daisy chained and this whole circuit is connected. Now this Bluetooth module is happy. We are good to go. Now after you have connected the Bluetooth module, you do everything in reverse now. We just gotta bring this out and then push it in. You might have to do some cable management. There's plenty of space to hide your accessories there, and then just put the bracket on and put the top one and you're done. There's no wiring needed because this is completely wireless. Now, if you have an Intel car, this is a little bit more difficult because you're gonna have to reach underneath here and then remove those plastic fasteners that you see. So all of those you have to remove. There are 4 of them, and then let's go through that process now. These aren't difficult to remove, but that space is very tight here. Once the screws are removed, you can remove the front bottom plate. Don't forget that there are 2 connectors you have to unhook. Pinch on the middle part of the light connector, and while holding it down, pull the connector out. The speaker connector just unplugs when you pull on it. Now this next part is the hardest part of the installation. You have to reach under the footwell and remove a gray plug from the Tesla computer. There is no easy way to do this, but I have found that being in this position helps. This is the difficult plug we need to remove for the cars with an Intel chip. You just have to pinch on the middle tab and while holding it down, pull the plug out. Then take the new harness and plug the male Tesla adapter into the female adapter of the new harness, and then take the new male adapter and plug it into the Tesla computer. Make sure to align the plug straight to prevent bending Tesla pins. Again, this is super tedious and requires a lot of patience. At the end, it should make a complete circuit. Let's start on the replacement of the mirror itself. These mirrors usually just pop out. So if you look at it here, it's at an angle. You can reach behind here and then just simply pull this out. So you just have to apply some force here and then you are able to just pop this out because they are just tied with an assembly inside. And if you look at it, it just popped out. I've never removed this one in the past and you can see that just as easily this came out. So that's how easy it is to just pop this mirror out. Now we got to unhook some of this wiring so that we can put it back with the new wiring. Now if you look at the wiring here, so this is for the heating component and those just pop out. So you just have to apply some force here and then just pull this out. So if you look at it here, that just popped out and you can kind of push it from here. And then this one will just pop out the same way. So the heating component is out. And then for this guy, you just have to press right here in the middle tab. And then while holding that down, you have to pull this out. Now, if this is being stubborn, you can certainly use like a flathead screwdriver or some kind of a tip to push in here. And then if you push that, if you look at it here, this starts coming off. Now, just within a couple of minutes, we have our whole mirror out. Now we're just going to be replacing this mirror with the new mirror with all the wiring. Now we are after this green pin that you see here, but because we can't just take it out while the housing is still in place, this motor, we got to remove this thing here. So next we're going to take the little Allen key that they send. This is a Torx bit, and then we're going to go and remove 3 different Torx here. All I'm doing at this point is now removing those screws. So those are the 3 holes there, and don't touch this middle screw, only the 3 screws. And this is where a tool like this shines really well because it does not require a lot of manual labor or this tight space that you have to work with. Plus this is magnetic, as I say. So all you do is you can set this as like a 90 degree and then you go over here and then you remove the screw. And now the good thing is because this is magnetic, it is just going to hang out here rather than dropping. So that benefit that you have using an electric screwdriver. Now you got 2 more that you need to remove from here. When you are removing this very last one, it is not going to fall, but this is going to get loose. So as you see, that it starts wiggling. So again, keep that in mind. And once this is all good to go, then you are able to just pull this out. If you look at it, it just comes out. Let me show you the wiring part now. Now our job is to remove that blue connector there. So it is on a tricky spot. You cannot yank this out because there's wiring involved. So you just want to grab onto this blue plug there and then use some force. And then you see it comes off. And then now you are just left with this motor housing. Just remember the orientation you removed this from. So it was like this on my case where the openings were on the 2 sides. So taking a before and after picture would be probably a good idea. Now we gotta take the new mirror here, and if you look at it here, there is this bypass that we need to make with this blue connector here. So all you are doing is aligning this blue connector with this black and basically pushing this in. So once you find that, it goes in, you're good to go. It went in, and now this part is gonna go and connect to the motor housing that we removed earlier. So we're gonna take the other end of this and basically find the location where we removed it earlier from, which is this guy here. And then we're simply going to plug this in. There you go. This is good to go. So we made the full connection here and everything is happy. Now we got to put this motor housing back first, and then we're going to talk about some of this wiring so that we can bring the wiring in here and put it together for the mirror itself and then some of this here. Now, you see we have done the bypass here. I've just left my mirror hanging, but if you have something to let this kind of set this down so it is not pulling any tension, that is actually better. Right now I'm playing with fire here. But what you do is now you put this back and then you start putting the screws that you removed earlier. So just don't forget there's 3 screws. In my case, you might have, as I said, one, and we're not talking about this middle screw here. We're talking about the black screws that are on the side panel there. So those are the ones that you need to look at. Do not mess with this middle screw. That silver screw is not for this purpose here. So then we're gonna go ahead and tighten this, and then I'm gonna do that 2 more times here because there were 3 screws when I removed it earlier. So now we're done securing this. Now there's just going to be 2 pins that we need to put, which is this heated pins. We're not going to be using this guy here. This is for the auto dimming feature. This new mirror does not come with it, so we don't have to put this one in. I would recommend you put electrical tape and hide this somewhere in the back so it doesn't short or anything for the future if you wanted to replace it with the OEM Tesla mirror there. But basically you can hide that somewhere in the back. Now we just have this 2, and this 2 actually go and plug in right here. So one, put the longest one on the farthest end, that is gonna go, and then if you look at it right here in the pin, it will just push in. Now the heating function is gonna work. Now there's 2 heating functions, the 2 of them with the heating function, so you gotta do the same thing, but because this is a little short in my case, I'm gonna first align it this way and then push it in. Now if yours is also relatively tight, just pull this from the top here, and then it will give you the enough clearance to be able to plug in to this pin right here. Now we gotta hide all the cables that is hanging from the mirror in the back, and then as I said, there's still this 1 pin that I need to connect, which now I have. Now everything is connected. I am ready to put this mirror in, and this basically just goes exactly like how we removed it earlier, the older mirror. You just have to align this and then push it in. So as I say, you just have to align this and push it in, and it locks into its place. Just give it a quick nudge to make sure that it is secure everywhere. Looks like it is, and I think we're good to go. I might do a little bit more wire management here in a little bit, but that looks pretty good. As I said, like when it is on this position all the way towards you, you might be able to see some of this wiring. In the corner, you can use some black electrical tape to merge it, but that is your full-size mirror that we replaced from the original mirror there. So after the installation, first thing I check is make sure that I'm able to rotate this mirror using the steering wheel, which I am. So the motor is still working. That's the first sign. Now this is all good. So my first observation is that the blue tint is very noticeable. From the white, in the blue one I can tell that there's a tint, and I think it's going to be anti-glare because there is a little bit of a reflection there, and it's not looking as bad as a cloudy day, unfortunately. But I'm going to do more testing. But so far, just from the initial reaction of this, the blue tint is very noticeable. So let's do some testing here. As you can see, that car is rapidly approaching in my blind spot, and once it is in my blind spot, that light illuminates, letting me know that the car is my blind spot. As soon as it passes, that light goes away. Now we're gonna do another testing here. That car is approaching my blind spot, and once the car is in my blind spot, if I put my flasher, as you see, it flashes red, letting me know I can't go into that lane. So it also has the blind spot flasher for when the car is in the blind spot and I'm trying to go, which makes it super easy. Again, we're gonna give that a try with another car here. So approaches my blind spot, I flash, it flashed, letting me know I can't go there. If I stop flashing, it's just a steady orange light until the car passes. So now I'm gonna demonstrate the autopilot test. So I'm gonna turn on the FSD here, and you can see that blue light turned on there. So on the corner, so that's the FSD indication. I have programmed my LEDs here to do the same. So you saw this turn blue. That also showed a little blue indication on that side. And same on the other side. As you can see, there's that little blue triangle there, indicating that the car is in FSD. On the last version, as I showed you for Model Y, it only worked with the basic autopilot. Now this one actually works with FSD as well. And then when I get out of the FSD, you see that that light goes away. Now even in autopilot, it does the same thing. There was the blue light, and then that turned orange, and as soon as that car passes, it is going to go back to blue because we are in FSD right now. So again, that car is gonna come here, it is orange, and then as it passes, that turns blue again. And it is a very light blue. It's not like a dark blue. It is barely visible there, but it is there. So there were a couple of common questions that popped up on the last video that I want to answer today. First of all, the auto dimming feature. That was a huge deal. A lot of you are like, no auto dimming, I'm not going to buy it. And that is a valid concern that a lot of you have. That's why they incorporated a new version where there is an auto dimming built in now. But just keep in mind, in the beginning, they did not want to do the whole auto dimming thing because it is pricey, because they got to source the OEM Tesla material or very, very close to that so that they can modify the original mirrors or mirrors that have the auto dimming feature and then make this all work. So that is going to be already pricey for them to source the material, then to add all of these features and modify it. That's why they said in the beginning they didn't want to do it. But because of the high demand and the question that you all had, just at least give us an option, what the cost looks like, and we'll decide. Now you have it. They put the cost out, but it is significantly higher than the cost of just getting these basic mirrors with just the white color or the blue color. The functionality is exactly the same, but with the auto dimming now, you can use the Tesla's plugs and it electronically auto dims for you at night, during the day, whenever it detects there is going to be glare. Now, to be honest with you, I drove around with the white mirror, not even the tinted one, just the plain old white mirror that they had. I have had a lot of road trips since I installed that. I drove it through night, through snowy condition, inclement weather. And for me personally, I don't notice the difference. Maybe I got used to them and I forgot how good Tesla's mirrors were, but I did not notice any difference. I see it very clearly. It does not bug me at night or using the sun's glare during the day. So for me personally, I'm okay with it. Now, if you have an OCD or if you are like, no, like I drive exclusively at night and the auto dimming is a huge game changer for me coming from a different car, then you can pick the auto dimming options if you absolutely want this product, but it is going to be pricey. Now, if you're on a fence on like you don't want to spend this much on the auto dimming, but you also don't want to get just the standard white one, they do have the tinted blue one. That's the one that we installed today on the Model 3 Highland. I noticed very slight difference between the white and the blue one because the blue is naturally darker so that you are going to optically look at it and see like, okay, there's not as much glare. But again, the white version and blue version, I didn't see much difference, but I could see a slight difference, and it all depends on your personal preference. Another question was the installation process and if there's any indicator that when you are plugging it in, does it light up? Unfortunately, no, the Bluetooth module doesn't have any light at all. The mirrors don't light up at all. So when you are installing it, you have no idea if this is going to work or not until you take it out on a drive. So unfortunately, there is no indicator to show you that. Another question was about installing more accessories together, and you can daisy chain as many accessories as you want. It's just the matter of are you going to be able to put the panel back on or not on the footwell side. But other than that, you can install 20 accessories and it still works. So this is the Mangogo robot here. As I said, this is basically like the Mochi, but I think this has the gyroscope to make that better. And if we open this here, it has got a little robot here with the helmet, and they give you a bunch of stickers. So you can put the stickers to give him some characters here. You can put it around the helmet and, you know, just make it personable. So this is the base of the robot that is magnetic, so you can remove it and it attaches on the back, which is super easy. And to attach this to the car, all you do is they send you a double-sided tape, and then so you just stick the double-sided tape on the bottom here and then essentially stick to wherever you want on the car. So let's say if I wanted to stick it there, it just goes there, but I can put the helmet on and off, so I can attach it. So if you just want the robot there. So this is what the robot looks like. If you twist it here, there's the USB-C input for charging. Here's the speaker for the robot, and then there is the power button. This is the helmet for the robot, and you can customize this to be yellow, white, black, whatever color that you want, and the robot essentially just goes and slides in right here, and it wears the helmet, and we're going to put it on the base that is attached to the car. And this robot has a gyroscope built in inside, so if you're turning, if you're accelerating, decelerating, if you're going through a bump, it is going to activate certain sound, and then it's going to kind of give you the facial expression here. So to turn this on, you just have to press and hold right here, and it says Mangogo. So it is going to come up right there. You saw that, and then it starts giving you those facial expressions right away. And if you don't want the sound, you can just press once and then the sound goes away. And as you see, it says that the sound is muted, it is zipping. But if you unlock this one more time, the sound came back because it's unzipped the faces for you. Now you can see like it starts showing you all its trick, which is really cute. And then you put the robot, let's say we put it on his helmet. You can see this is what he looks like with the helmet. Now, that's like the turning animation. So like if you are turning, if you're cornering, that's what it shows you. And I think there is a couple of seconds after it shows you those side faces that it is a steady state. Now I think it's a steady state. So if I was to make him upside down, it's going to give you like that. Like it got upside down and it crashed his head. See, like you are like, are you okay? It is confused what I'm doing. There's a lot of options, lots of faces it makes. As you see, there you go. That's the throw up one because it got dizzy. So you can also tap his nose, and as you see, it starts getting mad. There. Whoa. So as you can see, it is trying to hold on to the car because we started making a motion. Accelerate fast. It shows the acceleration there for a second, and then decelerate, accelerate again. And as you see, it is accelerating, it's driving fast, fast, fast. But with the gyroscope right there, I'm like turning, and you can see that it did the little thingy to show that I was turning. So it's just your little companion that you can have in your car. Just sits there and makes faces. Going through the bumps now. So what do you all think about these mirrors? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Your likes, your dislikes. I'm glad that they incorporated the OEM Tesla mirror with the original auto dim feature incorporated, but they are pricey. And I think that was the trade-off that they were looking for originally. For these white mirrors or the blue mirrors, they don't need all the components to make it auto dim. For these OEM Tesla mirrors, I think they're finding OEM parts are very, very close to it and have to wire everything in. So that's why the cost goes up. But nonetheless, they made an option available for those that you wanted. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and come back again soon.